This one is, am I the astronaut for telling my boyfriend how I don't want the proposal to be like? This happened a few days ago, but it hasn't left my head, so I need other points of view. My 22 female boyfriend, 23 male, and I have been talking about marriage for 2 years now. We've been together for 4. Everything is great, our relationship, our parents' support, etc. Now to the main point. We were driving around town after a birthday party brunch and just talking about anything. I opened my phone to look for a specific TikTok, which had a song I'm obsessed with, to make him listen to it. The first thing that popped up was a proposal video. Cute, I thought, so I stayed watching it. It was a very public one with dancers and live music in the middle of a plaza. As a person that struggles with anxiety, the mere thought of this sends shivers down my spine. Please, babe, when you propose, try to keep it personal. You know how I feel about crowds. He didn't respond. Nor did he look at me. I went on, like, you can count on Brenda, my best friend, to help you set things up without me finding out. Between the two of you, no one knows me better. Again, no response. I was just met with half a smile. Something told me the mood in the car had changed, but I didn't want to give in to my anxiety, as I tend to do, so I continued watching TikTok to distract myself. I found in the comments the continuation of that said proposal. It was the fiancé showing the ring that they got for their partner, a big rectangle diamond. That is totally not my style whatsoever. And I have strong feelings against diamonds because of some of the things I have found out about their market and overall history. I have already told him about it several times, and I've also talked about how I prefer small rings and stones, but detailed. I never thought it was a bad thing to talk about the future ring, as I am going to be the one wearing it for the rest of my life, hopefully. So I said, please don't forget I can't do a big, bold diamond. He immediately stopped me. Isn't it also my proposal? I'm going to be the one proposing, buying the ring and going out of my way to do something special for this occasion. You're making me feel like what I'm doing and whatever I'm planning on doing will never be enough. I was shocked. It was never my intention to make him feel that way. I was rambling because of the TikTok I was watching. The way he said it honestly made my heart hurt. I felt guilty. I commented on the situation to my 2 most trusted best friends, and they both said I shouldn't have said any of that, and that he is not a child for me to give him a step-by-step to. I, on the other hand, still feel like I'm allowed to have requests about something that will affect me directly. Am I the astronaut for telling my boyfriend how I don't want the proposal to be like? Man, I don't know. I'm thinking back to whenever I was planning a proposal for Candy Thunder. I know her well enough to know, not to make it a big public production. Like, you assume if someone's planning on proposing to you that they know you well enough to do it right. I guess that's my point. You shouldn't need to outline all of these things. However, if you're watching something that provides the context and you're like, oh my God, I would be terrified by that, I don't see any harm in saying, oh my God, I would be terrified by that thing. Please don't ever do that to me, just to make sure that you understand if it's something that's like a legit rational fear to you. I don't feel like you were dictating what you want done. You were saying, just please none of this. I think what might have happened here, and this might provide a little bit more context, I think maybe he had a plan or something was already in motion, and that's why it was a little more stressful to him. Whenever he started getting feedback from her about things like not to do, he probably already had a plan for what he did want to do, and either this feedback encroached on it, which means that he doesn't know her as well as he thought he did, or he's just stressed about it in general. And if it's something he's already stressed about, then getting any feedback at that time is just going to send him over the edge. So he might have overreacted, not intentionally, but just being like already stressed about it. It is not a stress-free thing for the person planning that proposal and doing that proposal. I mean, there is a lot that has to go right. And when you're dealing with changes or new information, if you already have something planned out, then it's really stressful. So yeah, I don't know. This is one of those things where everybody could have done something differently. However, I think it was harmless. Now, his stance about it being his proposal too, I never felt that way. I never felt like the proposal that I was planning for Candy Thunder was for me. I felt like it was me trying to create a magical moment for her and for us, but it was never a like, this is what I want for me. That was never part of it at all. And I don't think it should be. But that's just my personal opinion here. You guys may think differently. He said, you're making me feel like what I'm doing and whatever I'm planning on doing will never be enough. Ooh, there may have been a hint there. You're making me feel like what I'm doing and whatever I'm planning on doing will never be enough. I think he already had a plan. And that just made it like hit a nerve. So scale wise, this one's a little bit difficult. I think if you were trying to be cognizant of not freaking him out. You could have delivered it a little bit differently, but you didn't, at least from the context of what we hear here, you didn't feel like you were going to freak him out or there wasn't a concern. So it might have been a little bit out of character or an abnormal response because he was planning something. You don't know what was going on there. His fire back still concerns me a little bit, the viewpoint that it's also his proposal. If you're proposing to her. You're not being proposed to. So that viewpoint is a little weird for me. That's just my personal opinion, though. I feel like his response here was more harsh than it should have been. The feedback that OP was giving him at this point is just feedback and information that should have been useful to him, unless it was something that deviated from what he already had planned. So I feel like OP didn't do anything wrong here. Could have done it differently, but shouldn't have had to. His response has me a little bit worried here. And for him, I feel like I'm going to give him a 3 here because he shouldn't have responded the way that he responded, in my personal opinion. And this is me saying that a proposal that I'm planning is not a proposal for me. It's something I'm doing for someone else. The fact that he feels like this is a him thing too, maybe a cultural thing, may just be the way that he looks at it. But was it something that he already had planned? Where did the big issue come from here? Like, why did he take offense to this? And also, I would dive further into the, if he is viewing this as a him thing too, what does he want? And maybe that's something that you guys can teamwork together here. That's just a different viewpoint that I'm not used to. So that's not how I would approach it. I'm going NTA for OP here.